leave. You know what I mean? Like because it's like even if you got like a fucked up pile of ash, this is my pile of ash that I've had before anybody. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it, bro. Like it's a different type of like. It's same thing with like with the LA fires. Like it's like okay, like certain people aren't leaving, certain people were because they were like, no, like this is my home. I didn't build this motherfucker by hand. Like I didn't imported special wood. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. Like I didn't went crazy to specify this house to my tailored needs, and I'm not willing to let that shit go. So I don't know. Like
Personally, I think that that's a
stupid.
very stupid decision. Yeah, like if I'm getting bombed to hell, I'm getting out of there. Me and my family, like we on
Yeah,
the first jet up out of there. But what I
yeah.
also find interesting is, all right, so you got Gaza, right? Why does no one want to take these people in? You got
That must be.
Egypt, you got Saudi Arabia, you got Qatar, like all these other like surrounding countries, and they don't want to take none of these people in. What's up with
There must be something wrong with the Palestinian people. I'm assuming.
that?
Real shit. I mean, if nobody's taking them, that's the only other thing I can honestly see. Like, I don't see. I mean, honestly, the terrorist aspect of it probably has like 90% of what to do with it. You know, because you got to think. I was talking to my boy. Pretty much, we were talking about how terrorists. You have like citizens who are actually like harboring the terrorists, and you have like actual people who are like working with them, even though you know what I'm saying they may not classify themselves as terrorists. They're harboring them, they're hiding them, they're feeding them, you know, they're funding them X Y Z. So that gets complicated as well.
Would you say that that's the mentality of most of the people there?
It's hard to say. I don't know enough about it, but I can assume yes. I can assume yeah for sure like that. Most people are definitely going to be on the same accord. You know, I don't see too many Palestinians, you know, agreeing agreeing with Israel to any standpoint. You know what I mean?
I see it also.
But yeah.
You're the whip. You just hopped in the whip.
Hell yeah, but we still going fuck it.
All right, let's get into the main topic. How much is too much? How
Or
many how many bodies should a 23-year-old have?
we talking about a 23-year-old female.
23-year-old female.
I say less than five. I say like like seven or less. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like 10 is too much. Anything over 10 is way too much. You know, two or three is like okay, you know that's more ideal. But like I say seven or less. Like okay, you 23. Like how many guys you been with? Like oh okay, few like quite a, like even honestly 6 or 7. It sounds like it's a lot, but I would say seven or less. 6 or 7 is ideal or less. You say
Right.
zero.
Yeah, but technically, if a girl has, I'd say 10 or less at age 23, technically that is zero because you're not going to find that nowadays.
That's true.
I
So
say
you would
your
say
average
10,
23-year-old probably has in the range of 30 to 40.
30 to 40, you would say?
Yeah, if we're assuming that she started like at the age of 16, which is very liberal, um, to
30 is a
find a
lot.
20, I mean, it's a lot, but I feel like that's kind of common.
Normal?
Yeah, that's very normal.
I don't even want to like ask nowadays because I'm like, if I hear anything over like 15, I'm kind of like, nah. Even 15, like that's a lot. Like you
Well,
gotta
the
think,
thing
bro.
is,
Like
you would never hear that number. No one would
the,
ever say 15.
you would never hear like the true number, right?
No,
It's always gonna be like either like deflated or
you gotta add 7 and multiply by 3.
that's a shit ton.
Yeah, that's a lot of meat. But yeah, I mean, if you find one with 10, like legit 10, yeah, I would say that technically that's like a zero because
Like
that's
10,
just so rare.
10, yeah, and 10 feels like okay, it's higher than like I would like, but it's not like an absurd like number either. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel about 10. I'm like, okay, 10 is like it's acceptable, but it's not like oh my god. Like I've known some females like they're in their 20s. Like that shit is like disgusting to me. I'm not gonna cap like, and I hate to sound like that type of dude, but it's like, bro, you a female, you fucking like this many niggas. Like that shit's like weird to me, bro. It's like you nah, bro. Like that mean you just letting any nigga inside you. Like you at that point, like if you got 20 somebody, you just fucking just a fuck. And it's like, okay, if that's what you do, that's cool. But it's like I guarantee you, like I'm not trying to go your way. You know what I mean? Like and even as a guy, like, some dudes would be like, oh, you just hit just to hit. Like, yeah, but that shit dirty. Like, it's like we as men gotta stop just putting our dick in these things just because we feel like it's like I don't know if I could be having this conversation. Like I don't know if you got the kids around or nothing, but I just feel like we shouldn't just be out here just plugging stuff just to do it, like just because we can, like, because you got to think that's an energy exchange. It's a whole lot going on with sex, man, and I just feel like we just be doing whatever just because you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a energy exchange. It's a mental drain. There's a spiritual aspect of that and physically taxing.
Extremely
But
physically
that,
taxing.
yeah, that's just our culture. That's just like how a lot of us have been raised. Like your masculinity nowadays is directly tied to how many birds you smash.
Yeah, but then like, and then I also think sometimes too, it's like it has to come with some kind of an insecurity as a man if you out here fucking like everything that moves. Cause like I was talking with a female before, and then she was explaining how her ex was like secretly like gay. So that kind of threw me off as far as like making sense. Uh, basically her whole thing was like how he was like insatiable, like he could never be satisfied, and so it was like he was with every other woman behind her back doing hitting everything that moved, and then eventually like like he just go on the man because it's like not good enough, like so it's just like when you think about shit like that, it's kind of scary in terms of like, oh man, like I know a few niggas like this, like you know what I'm saying, like are they, you know what I mean, so like and then you think about yourself, you like, am I one of these type of niggas, or like have I ever been that type of nigga, like where it's just like I feel like I'm never satisfied, like not never satisfied, but at the same time, like you do get hungry, quote unquote, as a man. Excluding like if you're in a relationship or married, that's different. But like as a single man, like you're not obligated to nothing. Like yeah, you say you decent and you got a little bit of money. Like yeah, like it's natural to hop around. It's natural to want different women. But at the same time, like we as black men specifically got to get real careful about selecting which women, and then we got to get real careful about like not just doing shit just to do it. Cause I feel like a lot of us, shit, even my father, you know what I mean, or just people in certain terms, like we just be doing shit just to do it, and yeah, man, it just leads into bad situations. But
Hold on 1 second.
yeah, brother.
Sorry about that. Minor technical difficulty. But nah, I mean,
Okay.
I feel what you're saying. Nah, a lot of that it stems from just not having those values instilled in you like at a young age. So you kind of just blow with the wind.
Yeah, yeah, and then I do believe at some point it's like it's okay to bump into walls. You know what I mean? It's okay to make mistakes or whatever, but you gotta learn from it. And then like when you find yourself in situations where you're not learning from shit, you just bumping in the same wall. It's kind of like okay, you know what I mean? Like you kind of understand like what you got to do differently. And man, me personally realizing as you already know, just like when you keep doing certain shit over and over again, and like it just becomes a pattern and a cycle. And then it's kind of like okay, what kind of a person am I to keep repeating the cycle if I'm not learning from it, if I'm not gaining anything from that situation, you know? So
I think
we
there's
as
two aspects to this situation because I mean, not a lot of people are that introspective to like really like sit down and look at their situation and see, okay, this is going good for me. Let me change this up. This isn't good for me. Let me stop this. And then also, the more dumb shit you do, the dumber you become. So
yes,
you just it's a constant steady decline of just chaos that like you're falling into.
yeah.
Because
You
like
said
if you make a mistake and you're not able to see that mistake and then you repeat it, the way that you're repeating it is by like telling your mind that like this thing is okay.
rationalization for sure.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is humans like I was listening to a podcast like a while back. Dude was just basically saying like, we rationalize as humans like rationalization is like a survival technique to a certain extent because you got to rationalize in order to like okay, is this okay? Is this okay? Like, you got it's like judgment like make it like, telling yourself things are okay, but then at a certain point you got to have like a gate or like a filter in your mind to be like okay, like this is wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to rationalize or justify any kind of behavior or any kind of like, any kind of thing that makes me feel uncomfortable, any kind of validation or and the thing is too is like it goes both ways. Like it's not always like bad situations. Like sometimes like fuck with me on this, like shit could be going too good. And it's kind of like to the point where it's like you just expect everything to keep going that way. So it's kind of like life is like a balance, right? Life is like up and down. So you're not gonna have like a constant uphill, but you're not gonna have a constant downhill either. So it's kind of like once you realize like you gotta take the good with the bad, like you realize okay, but shit's still gonna keep moving forward. So it's kind of like okay, a roller coaster, like you go up and down, but you still moving forward the whole time, right? I guess that's the way I think about that shit. Like, sometimes like every once in a while, a roller coaster might fucking break down and like stop, but that's very rare. Most of the time, you're just gonna get jerked around, motherfucker gonna have you uncomfortable, you're gonna throw up. It like,
Yeah.
that's kind of how like life is. Like life is like really like that. So when they say life is a roller coaster, that shit really is true. Cause like you get jerked around, you get fucked up, you know what I'm saying? You get nauseous, you be like, damn, get me off this motherfucker. I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? You feel really good at one moment, then you drop down, you feel really bad. Like, so it's like, yeah, hey man. Point is, keep your dick out of the dirty places.
Easier said than done.
For sure.
So yeah, you know we like to roll around the dirt.
We do, yeah, quote unquote, we, yeah, for sure.
Because it's so enticing.
Well, you know what it is too. Like, tell me if I'm wrong about this. Like, we as black men always want to feel wanted, right? So I don't know, like as men, right? If a woman chooses you, you feel excited. You know what I'm saying? So you feel like, yo, like I got a connection. You feel like, oh, she looking at me, she talking to me. Like that's a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. We as black men, we get that to the extra, especially like if it's from certain like races, and that's the truth. Or if it's like we just like see a woman in general wants to like I don't know, like it's just like a natural male thing. Like so, I feel like if you got certain women that's out here specifically choosing, you know what I'm saying? and it's like it's going against the normal role of like a man. Usually the man pursues the woman, but you got a few women where the woman pursues the man, and that happens too. But it's not natural. It's not a natural course of action. So when that does happen, it's kind of like those women that are choosing the men. You know what I'm saying? It kind of goes left, or it can be murky, given the situation. And I don't know. I feel like I personally felt like the women that I went after, the relationships were a little bit different from the ones where I kind of was approached by someone else. So again, we don't have to touch too much on that, but I do
Yeah, but
feel that way.
again, like how we talked about in the past, like low hanging fruit is
Yeah,
often rotten.
yeah, and that it's fucked up, but that's very true. Uh, you know,
And the thing with people today in society, like we don't want to play the long game. We don't want to do what's hard, so we always want easy access. We want it fast. Um, and we don't want to wait.
right, right, exactly. We want instant gratification, and
Yeah,
that's the
that's
thing.
exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah, and I feel like you know we older, but we not old. So I feel like we come from a generation where it was like we like the last of those kind of values. You know what I'm saying? Like where it was like we kind of want women to be somewhat submissive. Like, and I'm not saying like quiet in a corner or nothing, but like, okay, I don't want to argue with a woman. I don't want a woman telling me what to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to like fight and defend myself. Like, I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like a relationship where I kind of dictate what happens. Like, I feel like that's a natural relationship where the man kind of has control of his household. Like, I don't know, I personally feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you find a woman and you marry her or you be with her, and I'm talking about not even you, just in general, like, and it's a situation where it's kind of equal, that means everything else is equal as far as like the respect and as far as like what I'm saying, like who wears the pants in a relationship. Like you got to understand, like if the bills are equal, everything else is equal as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you going out with your homies, I'm finna go out with my bitches too. Oh, you finna go to the bar, I'm going out with my bitches to the bar too. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you just fuck somebody, I'm finna go fuck somebody too. Like, so I feel like that's what most people don't understand going into this. Is kind of like, you can look at men, oh, you toxic masculinity, or he don't know what he talking about, he trying to control you. Like, that's not the case at all. The thing is, like, men have a more strong foundation as far as like what to do and as far as how to lead. Men are natural leaders. A woman will look to a man naturally to lead. Like I've been in several situations like with a woman where it's like simple shit where it's like where you want to eat at. And it's like, okay, they never know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You tell me or you choose. Why is it I'm always choosing? Why is it you never know? Okay, because we're supposed to lead. And like for a while, I never got that. I'm like, why she always asking me? Like, I don't care what we eat. Like she need to choose. And I'm realizing like as a man, it's your job to choose. And as a man, you got to realize you dealing with old school women, which is kind of a blessing. Like they're supposed to put that in your hands and be like, okay, where do you want to eat? What do you want to listen to? I want to listen to whatever you want to listen to. What do you want to do? Whatever you want to do. Like that's golden, I feel like, because like you know what I'm saying. Like when you have that kind of relationship, it kind of everything goes hand in hand. It's kind of like symmetry. You know what I'm saying? Like now, I'm not saying women shouldn't have their own opinion. Like, of course, that, oh, I want to do this or I want to do that. That's different. But I'm talking about specific situations where men, I've seen it, bro, where like they'll be in a grocery store. It like even yesterday, I'm in a grocery store. It's a dude. He got a big ass cart of groceries. His girl just standing there texting on the phone. He pushing everything. He was like though he wanted her to put something on, like to start taking it off and putting on the belt, right? But the way he asked her, instead of being like, "Babe, help me start putting this on the bed," he was like, "Well, I don't know if you want to start taking some of this off." He was like, "You feel like taking some of this off?" Like it was so like he didn't even want to ask her. I'm like, nigga, I'm not asking nothing. I'm telling you, like, yo, help me take this off the belt. Like it was on some like he was scared. Like, bro, when I say she was taller than him, bigger than him, so like, and she's just standing there on her phone, like, and I'm like, okay, like. I'm not saying you got to sit there and be pretty, but at the same time, like help my nigga out. Like he did all the. I'm sure he's paying for the groceries, right? Let's be real. And instead of being like, "Yo, babe, help me out," he like, "Oh, I don't know if you want to help me take some of this off or not." Like, it's kind of a lot. Like, just simple stuff, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. I will never be in a position where I'm like asking my wife to help me take groceries. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just you can call
Yeah,
me
but I mean
toxic.
this whole concept that we're talking about, it's so foreign nowadays because the feminist movement has destroyed uh masculinity to the point where everything becomes toxic.
Yeah.
So you can't lead as a man because that's controlling or it's manipulation.
Yeah.
And everything you do, like inside of your masculine frame, is being seen as uh, an attack or uh, degrading in some aspect. So, I mean, a lot of dudes have just turned into hoes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of passive behavior. It's a lot of what some people would call, quote unquote, beta activity.
Right.
And it's just I think again it just stems from a lack of morals and values like in your early upbringing and
Yeah.
just strong male figures in the home to like instill this
Yeah.
and like young men and women like look, this is how you're supposed to move, this is what's expected of you, this is how you're supposed to act. And I mean this ties into so many other things too, especially like talking about black people. you know we don't have dads in the house, so I mean we're missing out on a key aspect of everything. So I mean, no wonder why dudes is acting the way they are now, and the women, fall in line.
Yeah. And I definitely agree with like it's stemming from the household. Like it's not always like I would say like 90% of it definitely is that because it's kind of like you got women who grew up without a father, so they grow up thinking they don't need a man, and then they continue that into adulthood. And you got to think it's just like a cycle, bro. It's like you got grandma lived that way, mom lived that way, so the daughter finna live that way too. Everything's on their own. Everything is I don't need a man. You got a baby daddy that done cheated on you. He done left you. He done went with someone else. So my thing is like black men, we got to step up as far as treating our women better, and then black women got to step up as far as like not playing the victim all the way too. Because a lot of times the black women will be the person that drives the man away, so they don't want to talk about that.
The thing is, we have no real healthy examples of relationships or
Yeah,
marriages or like any sort of like key foundations to look at. So you're just kind of left to your own devices, just drifting, figuring stuff out as you go. And nine times out of ten, I mean, you learn all these like bad behaviors, and that just kind of sticks, and then that is what it is
yeah,
because you've
and
you've had no guidance.
no. There's no guidance, and I think the other thing is too is like we have a lot of pride, so it's kind of like man, like it's tough to even talk to certain people about certain things, like let alone like try telling a black woman her card is declined. You know what I'm saying? Just shit like that, and it's like okay, like I get it, like I come from a black woman, like you do too, so it's kind of like. I will always love our black queens, and I always got respect for the struggle that they what they deal with and what they go through. But at the same time, we got to learn for them to be quiet and like reserved. Like the thing is like a lot of these women out here they're single and they struggling, bro. And it's like like I can't tell you how many women I've seen dressed up. I'm talking like body look good, clothing smell good, dressed up like face clear, and then it's like they go to pay for some shit and they got to stop and call somebody to send them like $7 or eight. I'm like, what? I saw one person like it was like she didn't have like $6. She was like, yeah, it's like it's $4. I'm like $4. You don't have $4. Like you don't have $8. Like same thing. I've seen niggas with the same shit. Yeah, babe.
She don't got
It's not.
$4.
Dog. I'm talking about. Hey, babe. It's $9. It's $8. You can send it real quick. I'm like, so
That's
a lot of
crazy.
it is just like yeah, and it's like what do we dressing up to look good? We trying to portray an image for what? But we don't have anything of our priorities straight because we're so worried about the newest shoes or the newest bag or going live or I don't know. Anyways, I could go on all day about that, but yeah,
I think I shared this with you a while ago, but like one of the best quotes I heard in a minute was, "It's more important for you to, it, instead of you choosing a beautiful wife for yourself, it's more important to choose a good mother for your children." And I
oh
wholeheartedly
wow,
believe that. I was
I
like,
never
man,
heard
that
that
just,
before.
yeah, I just came across that like a few months ago.
Like someone who would be like a great, yeah, 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 yeah. That makes sense.
Because I mean, look to, okay. Yeah, they chill. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because the we was talking about this probably like 2 days ago. Like, I mean, the initial attraction is what's gonna, get you in the door. But that
Right.
can't be like the
Everything.
sole thing. Yeah, that can't be everything. Because
Yeah.
in 15 years, the look's gonna fade, and then what do you have? Yeah, you got
Nothing.
nothing. You got no sustenance. You got no substance.
Yeah. Same thing. Yes. Both same thing. Yeah. Yeah.
But you definitely gotta hit them with the litmus test
Yeah.
before, because I mean, I'm like I'm online like habitually, and I mean I used to be like doing all these debates and stuff, but I'm just like, man, I'm wasting my time. Till someone was like, yeah, you gotta hit them with the litmus test. Just hit them with the how would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast today, and see what they say.
Oh man.
And the answers are very telling. Like, majority of people you ask that question to, they're gonna be like,
No.
what is the answer they give? It's
Like cranky.
they'll be like, oh, but I did eat breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's
nigga,
like you can't
that's
even
not
relate to it. It's
yeah,
like
because
yeah.
like this line of thinking is so far beyond like their mental capacity. It's just like, yo, we can't have a conversation about anything because you can't like think abstractly. Like you can't, uh think about this simple hypothetical. Like, people's IQ are so low that it's just like it's not even worth wasting your breath. It's not worth like any of your emotion or
It's
energy to put towards this person. And I
it's
was talking
crazy
to
though.
Aaron about this, and he was really breaking this down to me. He was like, "Yo,
Yeah.
like the average IQ of a person is very low."
It's
And I'm
pretty
just
low.
like, "Whoa." It's like really low, and we're at the bar, like we're chopping it up, like talking about different things, and we're just like, "Yo, this conversation we're having, a lot of people would struggle to follow this."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like very, high performance, like high IQ. Like
For sure. For sure.
he's probably like
He's
one of the
always been that
smartest
way
people.
though. He's always been
Yeah.
that way.
And man, just the conversations we're having are just like, yo, these are so far beyond people that like they can't even fathom like half of this stuff. And it's really simple stuff.
I mean, that's a fact. Like, one thing I've learned, bro, is like it's motherfuckers walking around like you would think. I would say don't judge a book by its cover.
One
Do
second,
not
one
judge.
second.
Don't judge a book by its cover. I would say that's why. Like, man, I've seen some shit where I'm like, you
Go
see
sit down.
somebody who doesn't look a certain way and then they are. See somebody who looks a certain way and then they not. A badass woman, like very attractive, whatever. You start talking to her, you like, oh wow, it's like okay, she's like really like kind of yeah. I don't even like. Is it sound me? I don't like saying she dumb, but it's like yo, like sometimes a spade is a spade, bro. Sometimes you gotta call shit like it is, and like I've met some really nice people, like nice women. They cool, they respectful, but they just dumb. Like, and it's just like you can see how they move, like. You know what I'm saying? Just see how they act, see what they do, see who they be with, and you be like, okay, yeah. Same thing with like, you see people like in certain positions not doing that, you be like, okay, you just assume something. You start talking to them, you like it might be like a cart attendant, somebody pushing carts, or like a janitor. You start talking to him, he like, yeah, he got like two or three businesses, or that he has like a degree from like MIT. It's like you never really know what people deal with or what they go through until you really talk to them. Cause like I feel like I said, life is such a roller coaster. It's really up and down with it. So it's like when you see like certain people, I'll be like, man, like I say like 50% of the time you might be able to judge it right, but the other half you never know.
Nah, I would say probably like 90% of the time. I would say you can't judge every book by its cover, but majority of the books, you know it's nothing inside.
You say it's just that some empty pages. It's not really.
Yeah, you might stumble across, somebody who's pushing carts that, is really tapped in, got some knowledge, doing well for themselves, like business wise, but that's extremely rare. Like
Yeah,
majority of the people walking around here is just brain dead. Like, and that's because they don't do nothing. They
Well,
don't
you
research, they don't read,
no.
and they think that they know it all. The biggest thing that I learned recently, like doing a lot of research and coming into more knowledge, the biggest epiphany that I mean I've had is that I don't know nothing and that there's people way wickedly smarter than me.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
to get to that level, I just listen to those people.
Right.
But I mean, a lot of people, you know, like you said, they just got too much pride. They think they know it all. But I mean, they're like a box of rocks.
I would say like the more you humble yourself, like it puts you in positions to learn more. Cause it's like nobody wants to teach a know-it-all anything. Like if you're a person who gets around somebody with some knowledge or some money, and you start talking about yourself, and you start talking yourself up, and you start da da da, like they're not gonna tell you shit. They gonna, cause you know what I'm saying. Like if you really people with money, people with real power, they don't say much, bro. Like people who
Right.
got real money, people with real power, people who's really running shit, they move with their hands. You know what I'm saying? They make phone calls, they make texts, like they don't talk. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like if you do get somebody in that position to talk to you, you are in a privileged position and you should shut the fuck up and listen because it doesn't happen often. You know what I mean? Like I've been in a position a few times where it's like, I'm listening to my grandfather. Where it's like moments like that, where it's like you can't replace those moments, bro. Where it's like, your grandfather's like trying to give you a lesson and he's like telling you about his like life story, like shit like that. Or it'd be like, just an old head in prison. Like somebody, usually the elderly people, bro, like it's some crazy motherfuckers that disrespectful, but like majority of the elderly people, they cool, bro. Like, and like, I feel like a lot of them know what they talking about. And like, they only talk to people who are willing to listen because they know not to waste their precious energy or you know what I'm saying? They're not finna waste their information on somebody who don't give a fuck. So yeah, like 100%,
Around
bro.
around old people, I'd let them talk because
Yeah.
they're gonna give you so much game. I mean,
Yes.
a lot of the times they just want to talk just because they're lonely. They probably don't have that much
Right.
social interaction with people.
Right.
But and another thing too, I'm glad you brought this up. Like nowadays, man, kids just have no respect for nothing, bro.
That's
Like,
the truth.
so it's like, man, I don't want to hear nothing you talking about old head. Like, it's
Yeah.
just like it's the disrespect for me. Nah, that's crazy though because it's like we don't honor our elders anymore. And how are you really gonna get gamed up if you're just like shitting on like all these old people, just thinking like, oh, you old washed up, like you don't got nothing important I need to hear.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's like a Generation Z kind of thing or if that's just like honestly, I feel like it's like social media. Social media like inflates the heads of like children. Like I feel like if you have a kid that has a social media account, like they might be a 7-year-old kid, but in online, motherfucker, they a troll. Like online, they're like a whole different person. So like, I feel like social
Yeah,
media
that's
really had,
crazy.
yeah, like social media has really like distorted like reality for a lot of children. I feel like because like they think that because they can pull their phone out and record you, or they can, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if you
People
feel
think
me.
they
Like
can say whatever they want. I mean,
yeah, and
technically
like
you can, but
and
it's like, yo, this is not real life.
that's what I'm saying. And then like they also feel like just because they can record themselves or they can record you or film you in some kind of a fashion, that means that they have some kind of a power over you. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, okay, if somebody's doing something wrong, like they trying to touch you or like grope you or something, obviously you start recording them. Like I get that. But if like it's just situations where like it'll be somebody like just minding their business and you see like kids like whip out their phone, start making fun of them, and like it'll be an old person like struggling with something or you know what I mean? Like instead of helping them or just like telling them off camera, like we gotta pull everything out and record it. We gotta post it online because it's funny. Like everything is for views and likes. Like we don't care about self-respect. We don't care about preservation. Self-preservation. I feel like is a main thing a lot of people don't have. Like for anybody, like for their elders, like even like kids in their home, like kids disrespecting their own parents and shit, bro. Like kids, like man,
Kids calling
I
their parents by their first name.
yeah, that shit. Yeah, that shit is wild. That and just like
No, Katie.
no, it's slamming doors. Get out, mom. The fuck out, mom.
I don't want spaghetti.
I don't. I fucking told you, tosses this shit on the floor. Like, I don't
Go
want
make
this.
me another one, Anna.
Make me another one now. That's white. Yeah, that's white people shit for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy as hell, bro. Nah, I mean, yeah, that's really wild. But you can't put all the blame on this younger generation because who are the ones who raised them? So I feel like
Yeah, yeah,
that that blame should be put on the previous generation because they didn't want to take responsibility for their actions. Like, I mean,
yeah. And it
fathers
just gets
just
passed
dipped
down.
out. Yeah, and no one wants to discipline their kids no more. Like,
That's true. It's difficult to do.
yeah, like over here, like spanking your kids is illegal. Like, what's next? Like, I can't yell at my kids. It's really gonna get that bad. I find that so stupid.
You can't.
Like,
Yeah,
what
you can't.
what am
You
I
can't
even
fit.
here for?
Yeah, you can't physically discipline your kids anymore. And then pretty much like I think verbal thing is the thing now. So not saying that you should talk to your kids that way, but I'm saying you can't even be fit like verbally stern with your children anymore. You can't physically
That's
touch them
emotional
anymore.
abuse.
Yeah, emotional, physical, like there's everything is abuse now. So it's just you might as well just let your kids just let the internet raise them. Let them eat whatever they want. Let them go wherever they want. Give them a phone at an early age. Rot their brains.
That's
That's
wild
what
as hell.
it's what the government wants. It's what social media wants. Just give in. Just give in.
Yeah, because the powers that be, they just want to see everything crumble and burn.
Yeah,
And how you do that is by destroying the nuclear family. So I mean, you already got half the battle won, taking the dad out the picture. You take discipline out the picture, and
yeah.
then you let us, dictate what we're gonna put into your kid's brain, and then you let the kids run the household.
It's about like stripping control. Like if you strip away like autonomy from every citizen or from every you got to think it's a slow process. Like already they stripped us away with Instagram and Facebook, right? We don't even have the autonomy or their own power to log out of an app. We don't even have the power to stop and be like, okay, this is destructive to my brain. I don't give a fuck. Some of us know and don't care. Some of us are trying to do better with it. Some of us just fully give in every day. So
Yeah,
I feel
I'll be
like
straight
if
brain rot, bro.
that's what I'm saying, bro. And it's just like, okay, if you're making money from this shit, that's one thing because you're using it. But I feel like a lot of us are just consumers, myself included, to a certain extent. But at least I feel like I had the self control now to get off when I feel like that addiction kicking in. When I feel like I didn't spend like a good amount of time just scrolling for no reason. I'm like, what is this shit doing for myself? I'm looking at shit that doesn't have anything to do with me for entertainment, but it's what they want. You know what I'm saying? You go peep your screen time on your iPhone for a minute and see how many hours you done spent like looking at Instagram. Like,
Yeah,
see,
my
you know what I'm
screen time
saying?
is like 33 hours a day, bro.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. And you realizing like it's motherfuckers that's doing the same shit but getting paid. That is the only way, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause even myself, like, I need to figure out a way to get paid from this shit if I'm on it. Like, but like it'd be some kids like you see they be sleep on TV, sleep on stream, they making money. How do we do shit like that? How do you just live your life on camera and just get paid like while you just do nothing? Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these
It's
women can do that.
consistency. Well, I mean,
But
yeah, I mean, if you're a woman, you live life on easy mode because I mean, all you gotta do is just show some skin. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that it's very straightforward with that. But I mean, as far as making bread, you gotta be consistent. You gotta be patient, which a lot of people they just
they don't have that.
don't have. And it's also you gotta have that positive reinforcement too. So it's like
Yeah,
if you
yeah. That
keep doing something and
talk
doing
about
something
that shit. Talk
and you
about
don't
that shit.
see no results, you're like, man, like
Yeah,
screw this.
yeah.
Like, I'm off of it. I mean,
Because the
a lot
mind,
of us we leave too early, like
yeah.
right before our breakthrough. But I mean, it's hard, like to sit up here, like right now. This got 0 views. I haven't seen one person pop in here.
Nah, I
I
don't.
mean,
Yeah, I don't. I don't expect
a-
anybody to.
after we post this, like people will pop in here. But still, like, just imagine doing this for a year straight and you have no views.
Yeah, I mean it's very possible. Like, and I think, but you know what keeps me going too? Like like I think about how many of these conversations we've had off camera, like thousands, like hundreds. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, imagine if we were posting all of those. Like one of those
Yeah,
motherfuckers would get some views. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
some. we've had some even way better conversations than this, like several times that haven't been recorded. Have nobody even knew we talked about it because it's just conversations that we have. So like, imagine if you keep going and you just keep it real and just be yourself like we always do. Like, eventually somebody gonna say something, and even if
Hey,
they don't,
imagine if
for
we posted one of like our private conversations, bro. Those
I'd be down
conversations
to
would
do that
go up.
shit. I'd be down. Like, I don't have nothing to hide. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm at the point now where you realize if you want to make it anywhere in life or on social media, especially, like, you have to be yourself. So
You
for
gotta
a
be
long time,
transparent.
yeah, like for a long time, I feel like I was trying to portray an image, like even for myself, I'm trying to be this nice guy and I'm trying to be everybody's friend and I'm trying to do things for many people and I'm realizing that shit is draining. Like you really got to give your energy to whoever gives your energy to you. Like you really got to fuck with people who fuck with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't be that person that's giving out time, energy, advice, money, and then I just get drained because like that's all they look at me for. Like I need to be able to have a conversation with somebody. I need to be able to have somebody to have my back like I got yours. Like, because I know me as a person, I know what I bring to any kind of relationship, whether it's a friend, whether it's a female. Like, I know what I bring. So I feel like I got to have somebody that brings something, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just, I got homies that I just pull up and drink and just smoke. And, we just play the video game. Like, that shit cool, nigga. But, like, what else do you want to do with life, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, that's why I really don't hang out with anybody, bro. Because I feel like, I mean, not that I expect anybody to, but I feel like I need somebody to be like, okay, let's work on this. Like, let's come up with to get this bread. Like, let's come up with a way to get some traction doing this. Like, it's cool to hang out. It's cool to have a good time, but like, I don't want to just do it to blow off steam and then go back to a life I hate.
I gotta
So
send
like,
you this clip. This nigga was like, "You got to have vision, man."
I think I see that shit. Yeah, yeah. He was like cracked out or some shit, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, but
He was like,
you
"We
were
gotta
saying something about
collectivize."
that positive reinforcement, that shit is so real, nigga. Cause like if you don't support yourself, if you don't like physically believe that some shit about to happen, nigga, you will not go nowhere. Cause like you will have everybody doubting you. Like everybody will give you a reason why not to do some shit. Everybody will question why you doing that or da, 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 da. Like they're gonna compare your shit to somebody. They're gonna like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some kind of a, you know what I'm saying, a way that they're gonna try to down you and you will have very few people who actually support. But oh yeah, that's a good idea. Like I'm one of those niggas that's always gonna support somebody. Like okay, yeah, like that's a good idea. Like yeah, you should go ahead and do that. Like I'm not gonna question your shit. I'm not gonna you should have did this or like a lot of people start telling you about somebody they know. Like oh well, I know so and so did this and did it. Like nah, nigga. Like you know what I'm saying. Like you got to keep it.
A lot of niggas is just watchers, bro. I mean, I
Yes.
learned so many lessons like from doing music. Like you have to be your number one fan before you get fans. And like from doing
Yes.
TikTok, there are two categories of people on TikTok. There are creators and then there are watchers. And watchers, all they do is spectate and comment and criticize. They
Right.
have so much to say, but
Right.
they have no profile, they have no content, but they know everything what you're supposed to be doing. And
Yeah.
perhaps, you know, they might have um a good critique of what you're doing, to help better you. But nine times out of ten, I mean, these people don't know what they're talking about because they don't do this.
I feel like you tell me if I'm wrong too. A lot of people are just prone to giving advice, even if they know nothing about the fucking subject. Everybody feels like they have something to contribute, or they want to tell you about an opinion, or like that's why, like
Yeah,
I
because
learned as
they
an
just want to
adult.
talk.
Yeah, like as an adult, I really learned like you got to be really private with situations unless it's like it's people really close to you or like people you really trust. Because I feel like the more information you give out to people about your life or about situations or about anything, the more they're willing to judge you or give an opinion on you. And then even if you think the conversation is between you and them, they're gonna go behind your back and talk shit and tell. Oh, Evan told me this, this, and this. Oh, you know what Evan does? Or Evan be like, I hate that shit. So it's kind of like. And that same thing for like goals and dreams, right? Like you're not supposed to tell anybody that shit unless it's like you really like locked in and you can trust that person. Like, because I feel like it's more likely not to happen once you say it out loud. It's more likely the same thing. Like once you give up your life details to somebody else, now everybody thinks they have an advantage on you. It's about leverage. Because if you
Yeah.
give up your information about your life, they have leverage on you now. You feel me?
It's like three stages in how this happens. So like if you're doing something, I mean, you should just shut up. But like people are gonna laugh at you, and then they'll like you, and then once they see you got like some real motion, then they're gonna start hating. I'm like, oh man, look at what, who's this nigga? Who do he think he is, bro?
Right. Right.
But I mean, they're always gonna laugh first, and I mean, you just gotta muscle through that.
And why is that that it's crazy that like your own people, your own, whether it's like your own peers, your own race or whatever, you always have to go through a stage of hate before you get like Young Thug got laughed at, Lil Baby probably got laughed at. You know what I'm saying? Like all these people that are like stars, they all got like your support base is extremely small in comparison to people who want to see you fall. Why is that? Why are
I mean
humans naturally, you know what I'm saying?
that that's mainly just like in the black community because we have the crabs in a barrel mentality, but it's also because um it's because people are judging you based off of their knowledge of who you are right now or the past. They don't
Right.
have any information about who you're going to be. So they're
Right.
just like, oh, look at this lame ass nigga, bro.
Talk
Like,
about
oh,
that
he
shit for
was
a
just
second.
we had the same job. I went to the same school with him. Like, there's no way he gonna blow up because I
That's
ain't
what I'm
blow up.
saying. Right, right, right. 100%. It's like, why don't like, but it just goes to show you how simple minded people are. It's like they want you to be the version of you when they met you. Same thing with like any kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like they like you said, they only see you as whatever you were. Like when you tell niggas like I'm finna be big one day, nigga, I'm finna start rapping, I'm finna be the biggest star, they laugh at you. They like, yeah, all right, nigga, look at you, nigga, you a bum, nigga, you can't even da da da. Like, yeah, all right, nigga, come check me in 10 years. And it's like we always want to like down people, and then it's like when you make it and blow big, and then those same people are the ones that want to like ask you for money and shit, right? Like, oh, I knew so and so when we was in high school, and he used to be this and this. He forgot about us, yeah, niggas, because you was talking shit about him. Because you was saying you didn't want to see him make it. You was the same nigga that wanted him down. All of a sudden, you want him to give you some money. You want recognition and fame because you didn't support him back in the day. I'm sure that's how it goes like all the time. It be the same niggas that's talking shit, be the same niggas in your inbox wanting the opportunity. Fuck out of here, nigga.
That's also because I mean, and people are just so toxic. Like they will help you, but
They
never
won't.
to the point where you're doing better than them or even on their level. So like they'll see you
Right.
down bad and they'll be like, "Oh, like I'll help you. I'll give you advice for you to come up like, 20%, but I'm not gonna get you on my level and I don't want to see you like surpass me."
No.
I
Yeah.
this one girl, right? She was struggling with her weight, and then in over like probably like 4 or 6 weeks, she dropped all that weight, super skinny, gorgeous, and now everyone in her circle like, oh, like you taking this too far. Look at your body. Uh, you look like a little kid now. Like you too skinny. Like how long you gonna do this for? And then so like they start, pumping her head full of doubt, like, oh, like, she's doing something wrong, even though she done lost like a ton of weight. It's just that crabs in the barrel mentality.
Yeah, like you said, it's like I think what it is too is like everybody's so individualized. Like so us as a country, like we was talking about this. Like I said, bro, we had so many of these conversations off camera. That's why I know this shit don't fake. Cause like we remember we was talking about America as an individualized society. So like we always like look out for ourselves before we look out for us as a whole or a community, especially black people, bro. We want
Yeah.
our own Instagram page to blow up. We want our own, you know what I'm saying? We want our own way to make money. We want our own plug into the, we don't want to help nobody else before we help ourselves. We want to be, and even when we are on, like even when we do have money, we still don't want to help anybody else. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like you can say something like, "Oh, because like a whole slavery thing, like that's part of it. Nobody helped us." But then at the same time, you can't have that kind of a victim mentality either, can you, bro? You know what I mean? It's like the way that you get blessed in this universe is by helping other people. The way that you get ahead, I feel like, is by being open and authentic and then doing shit from your heart, bro. It don't mean you gotta help everybody that walk past you, but at the same time, you gotta do shit genuinely, bro. If you out here trying to make a bag, you fucking niggas over, karma will get you, bro. That's why you see all these niggas like King Von dying, Lil Durk going to jail. You know why? Because they fucked over so many niggas, bro. That's why ain't no fucking free Durk. Ain't no free Durk. Ain't no RIP Von, nigga. These niggas, Don, like they both murderers, bro. Same with what's the one nigga from Florida that got that was involved with that shit too?
Who?
Quando Rondo. Same with him, nigga. He's a murderer too, nigga. And it's like it is what it is, bro. You signed up for this lifestyle. So my thing is like, how we gonna sit here and be like, oh, free these people or RIP these people? These people were murderers, bro. So it's like let's really let's recognize what people are and then what they do, because your actions as a man define you, right?
You
Okay.
sound like Charleston White right now.
I hate to sound like
Take
that,
these
nigga, but it's
niggas
the
to
truth.
jail.
Nigga, I'm not saying
Lock him
arrest.
up.
Nah, I would never snitch and I would never like get nobody arrested, nothing like that. But at the same time, bro, like if you kill people in the streets, if you have people murdered, eventually you will something will get done to you, bro. Especially if you have money and fame and you got people that are jealous of you. You got people that's gone to jail because of you. You got people that's died because of you. Your karma in the streets is heavy, bro. You walk around every day like in the back of his mind, he probably knew one day he was going to get caught. I swear to God. Like if
Yeah,
somebody asked someone,
absolutely. That's why like they be living so wild because they're like, I mean, I'm here for a short time, for a good time, not for a long time. So,
and it's
I'm
like
gonna just do whatever I can because I know that, my life is
one day.
short.
One day I'm gonna get caught. One day that murder from 2, 3 years ago is gonna catch up on me. Or one day, you know what I'm saying? Like I know
You got
that
too
I
much
showed.
blood on your hands.
Yeah, bro. And it's not even about blood. Like that's one part of it. The main part of it is just like the dirt you do, bro. How many niggas you done shorted? How many niggas you done robbed? How many niggas you done cut the lean on? You done gave fake pills, or how many niggas you done stole from? How many niggas you done did dirty like with scams? And it's, you know what I'm saying? You gotta think about all that shit, and then you think about the murders as well and like killing people. And so it's just like your karma is ridiculous, bro. So it's like don't expect to be living on this high horse, you walking around making money. Nigga, that shit not gonna last. Especially like I feel like the only people that last with this kind of fame and money are people who don't have street ties, bro. There's not many people with street ties that are still up there. Like 50 Cent's one of the only people. Rick Ross, but then people don't even respect Rick Ross like that anymore because he stole his whole identity. So it's like, what real famous street people that are rich are really out here with credibility and that, you know what I'm saying? Like, not many, bro. Give me some names. Like 50 Cent's one. He
I
came from
mean,
the
if
streets.
you listen to 50's story, like he was talking about like after he blew up and BMF was coming around and he was like, yeah, I'm not hanging out with those niggas because they too
Exactly.
hot. But then you look at
Exactly.
someone like Rick Ross, it's like the whole mentality, especially like with the music game, the rap game, is like fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's only going to get you so far because I mean, Rick Ross lied about everything. Like he was a correctional officer,
Yeah.
stole another man's whole identity,
Yeah.
and just kind of faked his way to the top. I mean, yeah, he got a good voice. Um, I mean, he can wear this facade, but I mean, niggas gonna find out one day.
Niggas already knew. That's what I'm saying. I feel like a lot of people already knew about him before we even came out. They already recognized this nigga fake. This nigga like I don't know, bro. It's just like you can on some real shit, bro. You can fake white people with that shit. You can't fake niggas, no. Because a lot of white people not gonna know about like little Freeway Ricky. Like they're not gonna give a fuck about him. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't even care about like you know what I'm saying. Like they know about the beat. Oh, this beat's nice, man. Oh yeah, I fuck with this song, bro. Like they don't give a fuck about nothing but except the bass they feel and how hard the lyrics here. Oh, they want to see a nigga getting fucked up, bro. They want to see a nigga on pills. They want to see a nigga with tattoos and self-destructing like Juice World. That's why we honor niggas like Juice World and we honor niggas like King Von. Destructive ass niggas, bro. And I'm not sounding like Charleston White, but that's the real shit. Like, okay, Juice World was an amazing artist. He was super talented. Like I've never seen nobody rap like him or freestyle like him. Like when I seen him freestyle, I was like, this shit was different, bro. Like it was like his wordplay was just off the dome, was like some Kendrick shit, like a comparable to it. But super talented, bro. But then at the end of the day, he still was a drug addict, bro. And he died his lifestyle, bro. Like he lived off of pills, he lived off of lean, like and he died like intentionally overdosing himself. There's no way in fuck you can tell me he thought about taking those pills, not trying to kill himself. He did that shit knowing he was going to die. You know what I'm saying? Like you take How many was it? Do you remember how many? It was it 10 pills he took, or like 12 or some shit? Like
I thought it was like 8,
it was like 8, and like, but you got to think his normal
maybe it's more.
dosage. His normal dosage was probably like 5 or 4 at a time, probably. I don't know, a lot. And I've been
That's
there
a
too,
lot of
where
pills, bro.
that's a lot. You know what I'm
5
saying?
at a
But
time, bro.
you
You
got to
you gotta
think,
go to rehab, bro.
yeah, and but you got to think though, it's like it was normal to him. So like part of me was like, okay, maybe he didn't know, but then the other part of me is like, nigga, he knew because he knew like taking this many would put him out or would kill him. Like he didn't, he knew, bro. Like he was on some. That was his whole thing. Like he talked about dying. He knew, talked about an early death, talked about suicide. Like it was on some X shit. Like it was like niggas knew, bro. Like so it was like he took that many pills. You did that knowing that you weren't gonna come back. So you know it's unfortunate, but
What's sad is that man's had all this money, right, all this fame, clearly battling many demons. No one around him to like truly help him.
no,
And his whole last 2 albums were just a cry for help. Like, I mean, I was a Juice World fan, but I wouldn't say like I'm a super fan. I listened to his albums after he died. I'm just like, dang, like it was right here the whole time. Like this nigga is literally telling us
yeah,
his every feeling,
yeah,
saying
yeah.
like, I'm on a pill.
This,
I need help.
yeah,
I'm trying to kill myself. I think I'm gonna die soon. Like
yeah.
demons in my head, like all these voices in my head. Like I'm just like, dang. And he
Yeah,
ain't have
people.
one friend around him. He ain't have nobody. All they cared about was just, this nigga bringing in the bread.
Yeah, I feel like part of it too. Like part of me feels like he didn't want to be helped. You know what I'm saying? I think he was already in and out of rehab several times, like throughout his life. So I feel like he's already, you know what I mean? He was. I don't know why. You
True.
know,
Oh yeah, you just reminded me too, because it's like you can't really help someone unless they want to help themselves. Like no matter how bad you want it. And
yeah,
to speak on your other point, I think that's why when dudes make it, they don't want to help other people because you can't help those people.
yeah. They realize. I feel like they realized like they were probably trying to get people on their wave back then. Like they were like,
Yeah.
"Yo, come on, man!" Like they were probably turning blue in the face trying to convince niggas like, "Yo, come on, this is a better way. Let's make some money doing this, bro. This is easier route, bro. Come on, do it this way, do it this way." And niggas was like, "Nah, fuck that shit. You weird. I'm not rapping, nigga. You stupid. You ain't finna make no money, nigga. I'm right here on the block, nigga. Da da da." Look, 5, 6 years later, this nigga on the radio, this nigga making traction. And when I say this nigga, I mean anybody from Young Thug to Lil Baby to Future, like you know what I mean. So it's like niggas gonna doubt you until they start to see the evidence. They start to see the proof. And
Let's say you come into like 10 M's. Like your whole goal at that point is to like double, triple your money. Like you're not trying to lose anything. And then
no,
like all these like random people come to you and they're like, oh, like let me hold this, let me do this, but they're not trying to like help you build that back
right, right.
quadruple. They're just trying to drain you. Or like you see like, all right, you might think they have something going on. You give them the money and then they just become lazy. So it's like, man, what am I doing here?
Like, why am I even doing this for? If I
Yeah,
just feel
why
like
am I even entertaining this?
I gotta use my GPS, but I'm still in the conversation.
But
It's like five. I'm just got like 5 minutes down the street, but I'm still. But yeah, it's like I used to always wonder that, like, man, like niggas got so much money, they should just be more giving with it. And I realized, like, no, the reason why they are rich is because they're so selfish with it. Because it's like you gotta really protect that, like you were saying. Like now, I do feel like niggas should give out money to like more like substantial causes, homelessness or people struggling X Y Z.
yeah,
But
but why?
because some people are are like extremely disadvantaged.
Majority of that money is not gonna go to good use.
You said majority of the money is what?
Majority of that money is not gonna go to good use. Like your average homeless person. they're out there on the streets because that's how they want to live. Like, yeah, you might run across, the occasional person who's like just really down on their luck, just, had a really bad hand dealt to them. But that's not, the typical person out there on the streets. Like, they're out there, they living how they living, they don't care, and they don't, want to get out. So you go, you give, a homeless dude some bread. I mean, what's he gonna do with it?
Probably go buy drugs. Probably go get high. You know what I mean? Cause that's all he knows. Like to your point, like you were saying.
Yeah, so why
But
help?
yeah, like you said, it's a mind state too. Like I don't know, like part of the city I'm in as well. Like as you already know, I be feeling that way too. It's just like a lot of these people around here like don't want to help themselves. Like man, when you talk to people like around here or anywhere, it's just like the first like if you hear conversations like on the phone or you overhear conversations, it's kind of like it's always like on some like they talking about job, they talking about their work, or they're talking about problems with like they're talking about somebody else, they're talking about gossip, an event or something. Um, I sometimes I hear productive conversations too, but then most of the time it's like okay, you know, it's just like low. What's the word I'm looking for? Like low frequency, like low frequency vibrations. It's just like low frequency chatter. You know what
Low
I mean? It's
IQ chatter.
low IQ chatter to the fullest
Low
extent, bro.
IQ yapping.
Like you and Aaron was saying, like niggas cannot fathom to have this conversation that we having, bro, because it's on another level, bro. Like it's too deep for like some people like you. I can watch them squirm, bro. Like when you have certain conversations like this, it's like you can see them starting to tap out. Like you can see them start to like not really like you know what I'm saying have as much to say. Like you
Yeah,
can
because
see them,
they're like, uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
All right, so you trying to get this bottle?
right. They're like yeah.
Yeah,
Like
y'all trying to go to the club? Like,
yeah, they talking about like, yeah, you seen this post on Instagram or some shit like niggas tap out. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, you're like, generational wealth. Like, we can put our income, and as soon as you say income, they like how much you got on the blunt?
right. I
We
swear.
can do this investment and get this return, and they just glaze over. And it's
Like
like,
now
bro,
you
it's not even that deep.
like, bro, you know so and so right, yeah. It's not even that deep. Facts. Or they'd be like, oh, you know, so and so coming to town, bro. Let's go see this show. And I'd be like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, but let's talk about the current political style. Let's talk about, you know, how to make some money. Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I just refuse to talk to niggas that just they're not up there.
yeah. I realized
Occasionally,
too.
I mean, it's fun to like, send a comment back just trolling, but other than that, I'm like, yeah, nah. I'm gonna pass on these like hard conversations with people.
Yeah, and I realized too, like, as a good conversationalist, I feel like you the same thing. Like I can't waste my energy on like certain shit. Like I'll be dropping gems on certain people, and I'm like, man, like this person not even hearing me right now, or like they not even listening to what I'm saying. I'm like, but I be talking real shit, and it's like I be feeling like, damn, I'm like wasting this on them. Like you know what I'm saying? Like because they not even listening to what I'm saying, or they not even trying to pick up what I'm putting down. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, all right,
Yeah, so there's this biblical principle that like I've really been trying to focus on. And you by the way, you gotta read the book of Proverbs, bro. It's so much game and just wisdom in there. But like this one verse, it says, "Don't cast your pearls before swine." So like, don't give like your valuable jewelry to pigs.
oh wow,
You're wasting your time.
yeah, right.
And
Don't give
and
your yeah.
yeah, and I forget that so often. But it's just like, yo, you have all these gems up here. Don't just freely give them out. Like that stuff is precious.
Real shit. I be thinking that too, like just conversation wise. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, you know, and I feel like that comes with maturity. You know what I mean? The older I get, the more I realize that I'm kind of advanced when it comes to certain shit like that. Like, I feel like certain people are kind of just on their basic ass level, like, you know, what bar they're going to, what club is the hottest, who got the baddest, shit like that. So it's like if that's the frequency you want, I'm not gonna lower myself to your frequency. Like, if niggas want to talk about bitches, like I got some homies that's all they talk about is sex. They're like, oh, I got this one bitch. Oh, I've just fucked this one bitch. Like, nigga, that shit is low vibration to me. Nigga, like, it's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's cool every once in a while. But it's like every bitch that walk past, you looking at her ass. Every bitch that come up, you saying something to her. That shit get old, bro.
Stop real.
Every time we link up, you talking about a bitch that you just fucked, or you talking about how bad she is. I get tired of hearing that shit, nigga. I really do. And it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
bro, because you strike me as a nigga like that really don't have nothing going. Like if you on that shit, you a nigga that's really like you live your life by the pussy. And I used to be like that. I used to be one of them niggas that like I did everything for the cat, and I was like that was my focus, and I was like, you
I'm
know
on
what,
a
this shit
phone
is
call.
retarded. You know, like you're not finna make it big doing that shit. You're not finna like, you know what I'm saying, make no real money like giving away all your time and energy to women. So you know, I be feeling like that, brother.
Yeah, bro, you definitely got to check out the Book of Proverbs, bro, because it says like everything you just said. Like we waste so much time on unnecessary stuff, and it's like, yo, if we really trying to be successful, we gotta lock in, and
Yeah,
that means like cutting out a lot of hoes,
yeah,
and stop being so focused on, you know, pussy,
yeah,
and that's the biggest downfall of so many men. Now, I was just listening to Myron earlier talk about like 6ix9ine, like, he had a crazy run back, 2017, 18,
yeah,
and he got out of jail. He got this huge deal, but the reason why he never got that momentum back is because I mean he just got comfortable. He's lazy, and he spends all his time and money on hoes, and that would just eat up everything. But
yeah. I
it's
mean,
also hard as a man not to like think with
resist
your
that.
real head and not your other head.
That's the real challenge, and I feel like that's where these women really got us in the chokehold because it's like all they got to do is like men are so easy, bro. Like all they got to do is shake their ass in the right direction, and a man is jumping. Like that's why for me, like I'm not that easy, bro. Like a lot of women around here, like they might bat an eye at me. They might shake their ass in front of me. They might, you know what I'm saying? They turn around do a dance but that's not enough for me. Like I'm not that much of a coon ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like a nigga that's like, oh bitch, like, damn bitch, that shit looking fat. Like, no, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if you got a fat ass, like, cause I guarantee, like, let's keep it true, bro. Like you fat, but I guarantee I hit you, I'll smell something. Shit like that be pissing me off. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
cause you
I'd be having the same thing. I'm like, oh yeah, that's fat, but
yeah,
she
like
probably got some.
yeah, that or like that shit
That's my
probably
first
stink.
thought.
You could just tell because it's like by either one how they live their life or how they dress. If you constantly wearing like leggings or like tight pants and tight jeans, I know your shit stink. You know why? Because tight pants and tight leggings and jeans that does nothing but breathe bacteria and like germs and like smell. So number one, right? If you don't drink, if I never see you drink water, like if I work with you or if I hang out with you, sir, and I never see you drink water, that is a problem. That means you don't consume water. That means your shit probably stinks. Real shit. If
Yeah,
you spend,
her
if
pH
you,
is all the
if,
way off the charts, bro.
bro, if you spend like 2 to 3 hours with a woman and you see her drink no water, that is a problem, bro. Real shit. Cause real, you gonna if you healthy, you gonna be drink like nigga. Come on, like you know what I'm saying. Like you, if you really healthy, you gonna be, And I'm not like not every day I'm drinking water, but at the same time, like as far as like just female wise, like you gotta be on your shit, especially when you got a pH balance and shit. Like I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, man, a lot of these people don't wash, bro. Like, there's so many interviews out here. Man, I just seen one the other day. Niggas was talking about, yo, how often do you change your socks, bro?
Nigga,
What?
every day. What are you?
They
Oh
said, they
my.
said, they said, huh? I said, oh, nah, bro. What are you talking about? You don't change your socks? They're like, yeah, maybe every once a week. Once a week. What are y'all doing?
That's dirty as
Who
fuck.
raised you?
That's dirty as fuck. You
Bro,
you
and
seen
this
this
was
shit?
men and women.
Yo, nah. You know what's dirty as fuck? I seen that Ashton Kutcher had said some shit like he don't wash like his like legs and like extremities. Like
Yeah, that's wild. They just let the water run down.
yeah,
A lot of people don't use a washcloth either. I mean, okay, yeah, I'm guilty of that every now and then if I'm just trying to take a quick shower, but you gotta put some soap on your legs in between your toes, like behind your ears.
Yeah, because it's like it's dirt you can't see, right? Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and that's what it's dead skin. It's a lot of stuff. It's sweat. It's
Rain,
dead
yo.
skin. It's a lot of stuff that comes on the skin surface, bro.
Yo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
and like someone like me, like I got all these piercings. Yeah, I got these like giant holes in my ear. Like if you have piercings or like gauges, you have to wash these things every single day,
Yeah.
especially your gauges, or like they will stink. Like you'll get like this like cheese like kind of
Ah!
substance like in your ears, and like th that stuff will start to harden, and then like your ears will bleed, they'll get cracked. Like you have to wash yourself.
Yeah, you have to like be very meticulous about that shit.
But the thing is, nobody taught these people how to wash. Nobody told them like daily bathing is a thing. And I get it, like to a certain extent, like some people will preach like you only technically have to wash like every 2 days. Okay, perhaps if you have like a very um, kind of low active job to where
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
like sweating a lot,
yeah.
perhaps that's acceptable. But anything other than that, get your ass in the shower every day.
I feel like yeah, you should shower at least once a day, like even if you don't do shit. Because the thing is, you still sweat. Like you're people don't realize like your body is constantly sweating 24/7, but you're like micro sweating. So it's kind of like you're always losing moisture at any given second. You're always like perspirating. You're always giving off like scent. Like you have to shower every day, bro. And again, like like you said, you might be in some situations where it's like, okay, you in the crib, it snowed out, you ain't did shit. You might wash up or something, but you don't necessarily have to have a shower. Like I get that because some people don't like sweat. Like certain women, I know certain women don't sweat or smell as bad as we do. So like they could be fine like for like a minute. So I get that. But like like I feel like if you out here doing shit and then you just come home and you don't take a shit, that's different, bro. Like you gotta take care of yourself, bro, and like. Yeah,
Now, I feel
like
like women have to wash
more
way more than men
for
because they
sure.
have the extra like opening, and
Yeah,
like you have to keep that neat. And I feel like, I mean, yeah, this may be a generalization, but like women tend to sweat more than men.
maybe, maybe. I feel
I
like it
say
depends.
some,
Yeah,
but like as a woman, you just have such like so much more upkeep. You can't afford to be out here stinking. I mean, as a man too, like especially like if you're in the workplace, like it's just
yeah,
common courtesy. Don't
yeah.
stink. Take a shower like the night before or like the morning of. You're gonna be around multiple people. Like make it a pleasant experience for everyone.
That's crazy you
Very
said that.
basic, simple things. Take a shower, brush your teeth,
Yeah.
use Listerine, wear deodorant.
It's crazy because like it's one dude we work with. He a white dude. Not that that matters, but I feel like white people be doing this shit sometimes. But like we work in the pharmacy and it's like it's basically like a room and it's kind of small. But this dude be reeking, bro. So my thing is if you working in an environment like that and you're constantly reeking, that's an issue. So like he'll come to work and it'll be strong sometimes, like his smell. But the thing is, he says that his dryer is broken, so like his clothes don't dry completely, so they smell weird. That's part of it. But then I also know that he goes to the gym right before he comes to work. So my thing is like you said, it's that common courtesy. Like it's like, okay, my nigga, like I understand you gotta get your workout in, and I understand you feel bad without your workout, and you got to keep up your upkeep. But you got to be considerate, nigga. Like you can't do that shit and take a shower and then come to work.
They got
Like, I think
showers at the gym. What are you talking about?
that's what I'm
Stop
saying.
making
Like, I don't even know if he's
excuses.
like. I swear to God, I think he just works out and comes in directly after. Like, so I don't know if he showers and then goes and works out, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't shower after the workout because he'll come in and like you'll smell like the whole pharmacy will be like, or like at least half of the pharmacy will be like reeking and be like, what the fuck? And it'll be because of him. So it's kind of like it's one of those things like, okay, we're gonna tell you if like they've talked to him a couple of times, but then like sometimes that shit'll keep happening. So it'd be like, okay, at what point do you not really just give a fuck? Like, we done tried to be nice to your ass. We done been like, hey, bro, you kind of smelling. You mind woody woody woo. Like, and then you still coming in. It's not like you poor, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you making money. So my thing is, like, what is the real excuse as to far as, like, why you not, like, I don't
I
know, bro.
mean, I think it's just sheer laziness or
Yeah,
a
for
combination of that and depression because you know a lot of one of the tell signs for me that like someone is depressed is that they're just not, you know, keeping up with just basic cleanliness.
yeah.
And but I think a lot of it is just laziness because like yo, like you go to the gym before work, they got showers there. You talking about oh your dryer doesn't properly dry your clothes.
Right.
Run it again.
Yeah, right.
Like you're gonna be wearing wet, like damp clothes. Like how does that
Yeah,
feel on your skin? Like just people are
terrible.
just straight idiots.
But I feel like honestly, it's just like he's so concerned about his workout and he doesn't like realize the fact like nigga you sweat and then when you sweat you smell bad. So it's like you can't just throw on some deodorant and think the rest of your body don't stink. Like you know what I'm saying? Like this nigga be sweating. So it's like when you smell him, it's like intense body odor. It's like, oh shit. So it's
There was
like,
this one dude I used to work with, bro. I think I told you about him too. This dude smells so bad, just like garbage, like a homeless person. That's what
oh
he smells like every day. And it's to the point where I have to hold my breath around him and when I walk like at least like 5 feet because his smell lingers like a path, like you know the cartoons you see like the little green little scent trail. Like that's what it
yeah.
feels if you
Oh my
walk through
god.
that.
Oh
And
my
I
god.
will hold my breath for like 30 seconds straight, not to inhale any of his scent because it just smells so terrible.
I know what you
But
smell.
it's just like
It's like a vomit smell, right?
it's 6 in the morning, bro.
Like it's like a it's
How do
like a
you smell so bad?
how do you smell like vomit like this early in the morning? Like that shit is insane. Like you is not lying though. You is not lying. It's just
I
like a
when I was
that's
in Arizona, I used to have to skate like miles to go to school in the morning because I ain't had no car. And you know, it's like 100 degrees at like 9:30 in the morning. So by the time I skate there and I get to school, I'm drenched in sweat. And they don't have
touch.
showers at my school. So bro, I would pack a whole nother set of clothes, go to the bathroom, change, like spray myself, wipe myself down, like of
Right.
all sweat, deodorant, just to make sure like I smell decent in class.
Right.
It's like, yo,
Right.
you can take these extra steps to make sure you're not stink around people. It's just
Yeah.
it's so inconsiderate.
No, I feel that. It's definitely like a yeah, you care more about yourself than anyone else, or especially if you working in like small environments or like if you're in a professional setting where you have to be around other people, come on, man, just keep it clean. Like clean yourself up at least. When you off or when you not at class, do what you want. When you if you by yourself all day, do what you want to do. That's what my thing. Like, cause I obviously I can't tell niggas to be clean. Niggas gonna be dirty regardless. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like just be clean if you got to be around other people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just if you in a setting where you close with people, make sure you just don't smell. You know what I mean? Like, if you at home and you pay your own bills and you live by yourself and you don't like to shower, do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Facts,
I don't
bro.
give a fuck. But
I mean, there's exceptions to this because it's like, all right, I get it. Like you're in grind mode for, you know, like 3 days, like a week, and you know,
yeah,
you just get into the money. You don't shower for a couple of days. All right, that's fine. But like after that, wash. Like
right.
this can't be a every week occurrence. Like okay,
Nah.
like you get a grace period of like you know 3 to 4 days. After that, like it's time to get your stuff together.
Have you ever gotten in the shower and then when you wash, it's like you kind of like see the dirt coming off of you?
You said, have I ever gotten to a shower and what?
And you see the dirt coming off of you, like inside.
Yes.
Like I try,
Yeah.
I try not to even get to that point. Like when I shower, I don't like seeing the dirt come off of me. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm seeing dirt come off of me, that means either I had a long ass day or I ain't been showering in a minute. So
I mean, recently, like when I get in the shower, like and like real dirt comes off me. It's me. I work in. Well, I used to work in the warehouse,
yeah,
so it's like
exactly.
okay, like all of this, your like gunk is coming off of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, It's been times where like I ain't showered in like 3, 4 days, and it's like dang, like nigga.
I go like I can go like 2 days every once. If I go 3 days, I'm like really pushing it. But that's because like I'm not doing shit at the house. Like by day three, I'm like I need a
Hello,
shower.
nice.
Yeah. But yeah, bro. I mean, I feel like we can conclude this episode if you want, and then we could just hop on the phone and then we can review the edits.
All right, that's a bet.
All right.
Just
Wait.
got some beef jerky in.
You say you got some beef jerky?
Yeah.
Right. All right, bet. All right, I'm about to go into the bank. I'm gonna call you after.
How should we end these sessions?
We gotta have like a chant or like a mantra. Or I don't know. Say something like,
We're gonna conclude with our creed.
I would say, whatever you do in life, do it being you. Don't pretend to be nobody else. Real shit.
Whatever you do in life, be you.
Yeah, be you. Even if it make niggas uncomfortable.
I'm gonna end with this. Take a bath, find God.
And then watch where you put your thing into. That too. Real shit. All right, we out.